Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think the Ukrainian front or the Ukrainian defenses collapse. I think they collapse in the next, I would give them, as I said, maybe a week and a half. I give myself 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be in a few days. The signs are here. I covered that in another article, another video yesterday. And the signs that I'm reading from the Ukrainians are not good. Not good. Let me show you some articles here where again the Ukrainians confirm the Russians are pushing. Avdiivka seems to have collapsed. Marinka destroyed. All this again, pieces of information come from the Ukrainians. So they usually minimize their losses unless they ask for money and something else. Could be that kind of thing right now, but I don't think so. So as I said, they minimize their losses. In this case, if they say, well, that means it's almost done. Or probably already done. So let me show you this article first here. Ukrainska Pravda, Russian army attempts to advance on 7 fronts. Now, key point here, 7. Remember that, 7. Today is Wednesday, the 25th of October. So this is at 7:53, so 8 o'clock p.m., okay? 8 o'clock, so 7 fronts. And we got this one. So this is Ukrainska Pravda, remember. We're going to go to another Ukrainian media outlet, which is Ukrinform. Read that. Defense forces repel Russian attacks in 6 directions. 7 fronts, 6 directions. Whatever, we're going to clear that, all right? And this article is from the same 25th of October right here at 8:30 p.m. So there's 30 minutes, a little bit, 30 some minutes, all right, 37 minutes over this one. So this is at 19:53, and this is what, at 20:30. So 37 minutes after. And day 6. All right, let's read the first one with the 7. 66 combat clashes took place at the front. The Russians tried to advance on 7 fronts over the past day. The same thing I mentioned in this videos here. Right there. You see here? That was from yesterday. Ukraine collapses, signs of Ukrainian retreat, evacuate civilians, And this is Avdiivka falling. I just covered the same issue a minute ago before this video. Again, based on information coming from the Ukrainians, that Avdiivka will collapse in no more than 2 to 3 weeks. So it seems like these guys confirm certain things here. So let's go back to the article here. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Facebook information as of 1800, so 6 o'clock p.m. on today, Wednesday, the 25th of October. In total, I'm quoting, the enemy launched 47 airstrikes and carried out 25 attacks using multiple launch rocket systems on the positions of our troops and populated areas. End quote. During the day, the aircraft of the defense forces carried out 7 strikes on areas where enemy personnel, weapons and military equipment were concentrated. Okay, it says the Russians conducted unsuccessful assault actions near Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and Ivanivka, Kharkiv Oblast. Here, Ukraine's defense forces repelled 11 Russian attacks. All Russian attacks were repelled on the Liman front. Then you got Bakhmut front, Avdiivka, Marinka, Shakhtarsk, Zaporozhye. All right, so they are talking about this area right here. This is Avdiivka, which is in bad shape. They are talking about from Kupiansk, right here, going down to Liman, going to Bakhmut, going to Avdiivka, going to Marinka, going to Shakhtarsk, going to Zaporozhye, and then here we have Kherson, which the Ukrainians moved their, how do you call it, what's the term here? Evacuate, that's the one, I have a problem with that word. Evacuate their people from 23 children, 802 children from 23 settlements on this bank because the Russians are destroying them over there. And we're gonna go to the second article, the one with 6 directions, and see what they say. Again, this is from Ukrinform, the same date, 37 minutes later. Defense forces repelled Russian attacks in 6 directions. The defense forces of Ukraine repelled Russian attacks in the same locations: Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Marinka, and Zaporozhye directions. Remember, Zaporozhye was the Ukrainian counterattack, the gem of the counterattack. It took a shit. All right, so here it is. As I said, this is the one. From here, from Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Marinka, Zaporozhye, right here. So this is stated at 8. This is stated in a report by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and as of 6 o'clock. Again, 6 o'clock. And the other one was what? Where is it? Where is the 6 o'clock? Right here. 6 o'clock. So they have different information, I guess. They didn't know how to. Anyway, the defense forces of Ukraine continue to conduct an offensive operation in Melitopol direction. Offensive assault actions in Bakhmut direction inflicted manpower and equipment losses on the occupying troops, exhaust the enemy along the entire front line. I don't think so, but let me show you where that they say happens. So here, this is Melitopol right here. The Ukrainians counterattack or counteroffensive aimed at cutting this in two right here. So the Russians go over there, Russians over here, and then here they would go and take over the Crimean Peninsula. Well, that didn't happen. Melitopol and Berdyansk axis or whatever did not occur. And then Bakhmut, they say, they are conducting operations, right? Bakhmut is Artemovsk by the Russians, so just so you know, we're going to have it right here. The problem is the Russians don't even bother to mention it because it remained back in the dust. Right here, this is where the Wagner group took the city, right here. So, I think the situation is bad for the Ukrainians, and as yesterday, they are in bad shape, and these guys will break the front. I think it's possible to break it in, I would say, 2 weeks at the most. If nothing major happens, I think the Russians are in an offensive, in a fall offensive or autumn offensive, and I will support that with some evidence, since they said yesterday the same thing, the Ukrainians, that the Russians are pushing on the, again, 7 directions. I'm not going to get stuck to the 6 directions, 7 directions, plus Kherson in the south. Well, if you want to go and watch my video yesterday, I explained more about Kherson than the other 7 directions, or how they call them, fronts. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.